Comrade Supreme Commander-in-Chief today. He said such a test was conducted on October 21st. The date marks a pivotal moment in Russia's strategic weapons program. According to the report, the crucial difference from prior evaluations lies in endurance. The missile reportedly flew for several hours, covering a distance of 14,000 kilometers. And that's not the limit, he said, a nuclear-powered one. A nuclear-powered one, yes. The implication is unambiguous. This is a cruise missile powered by a nuclear reactor, not simply propelled by conventional jet or rocket fuel. He said, and the technical characteristics of the Burevestnik allow it to be used with guaranteed accuracy against highly protected targets at any range. The weapon under discussion is the Burevestnik, and the claim is sweeping, unlimited or near unlimited range, and the ability to strike even the most hardened defense-protected targets. He said, furthermore, during the flight, the missile performed all the prescribed vertical and horizontal maneuvers, thereby demonstrating its high capabilities for evading air defense missile systems. The maneuvers allegedly tested include both vertical and horizontal agility, each intended to defeat integrated air defense and missile interception networks. He said, once again, we have confirmed the reliability of Russia's nuclear shield. The Russian leadership is framing this test as a reaffirmation of strategic deterrence, a bolster to national safety under the nuclear umbrella. He said strategic forces are capable of fully ensuring the national security of the Russian Federation and the Union State. Here the language extends beyond Russia alone to the Union State, Russia-Belarus, signaling that the deterrence posture is conceived in a broader regional context. He said, we've already spoken about this. It's a fact well known to all specialists and military personnel worldwide. The speaker is emphasizing that this is not speculation. It is, according to the script, accepted doctrine among the global military technical elite. He said the so-called modernity of our armed forces, our nuclear deterrent, is at the highest level. It's probably no exaggeration to say that it's at least higher than that of all nuclear states. The bold claim, Russia's nuclear deterrent now surpasses that of every other nuclear armed power. He said, we're talking about the testing of the Bunik-6 nuclear power cruise missile of unlimited range. The mention of Bunik appears to be a mistranscription of Burevestnik or Burevestnik, but the meaning is clear, a nuclear-powered cruise missile of unrestricted reach. He said, I know that I have a report from industry, and I'm also familiar with the Ministry of Defence's assessments. These are, after all, unique products unmatched anywhere else in the world, and now the decisive tests have been completed. The speaker claims industrial and defense assessments converge, the product is unique globally, and the decisive testing phase is complete. He said, much work remains to be done to put these weapons on combat alert, that's clear. All the regulations must be followed. Nevertheless, the key objectives have now been achieved as far as I understand. Acknowledging that deployment is not yet complete, that legal/regulatory/military protocols remain, but insisting the core goals were met. He said, and I would like to hear the opinion of the Chief of the General Staff. At these words, the speaker transitions to military staff for review and comment. In effect, what we have from the Russian leadership, a public announcement that the long-awaited test of the nuclear-powered cruise missile Burevestnik has been completed. The ammunition is described as capable of flights of 14,000 kilometers and beyond, maneuvering in 3 dimensions, and designed to defeat advanced missile defense networks. The deployment phase is now reportedly being prepared. The broader context must be understood. Russia has trumpeted the Burevestnik for years as one component of a sweeping modernization of its strategic arsenal. Raised publicly by President Putin in 2018, the weapon system was painted as a counter to missile defense shields, a response to what Moscow perceives as destabilizing US and NATO missile defense expansions. Satellite imagery, airspace notices, and leaked intelligence over the last several years have revealed preparations at remote test ranges, particularly the Arctic archipelago, Novaya Zemlya, and the Pankovo range, commensurate with propulsion systems of this kind. Yet the program has carried a troubled history. Western analysts point out that the missile has had a dozen or more tests with few proven successes. In 2019, an explosion near the village of Nanoxa on the White Sea coast killed at least 5 scientists and 2 military personnel involved in nuclear weapons development, an incident widely attributed to a recovery operation of a Burevestnik prototype or test vehicle. Independent confirmation of the missile's full performance capability has been lacking. Indeed, some analysts consider the entire project to be more of a strategic psychological signal than an operational system. Against that backdrop, the announcement of the test and its scale, 14,000 kilometers, 15 hours of flight, vertical, horizontal maneuvers, is designed for maximum messaging effect. The timing is also telling. Russia is engaged in its war in Ukraine, faces sustained Western sanctions, and is under pressure diplomatically and militarily. By releasing this information publicly, the Kremlin seeks to reinforce that its strategic deterrent remains robust and to dissuade deeper Western military involvement. From the military technical perspective, such a missile, if operational, would represent a paradigm shift. A nuclear-powered cruise missile with theoretically unlimited range and the ability to cruise low, maneuver unpredictably, and defeat layered missile defense systems. According to the Russian presentation, the technical characteristics allow it to be used with guaranteed accuracy against highly protected targets at any range. Nonetheless, skeptics emphasize practical constraints. Nuclear-powered propulsion for cruise missiles has been conceptually studied, for example, in the US Project Pluto decades ago, but never fielded operationally because of enormous technical, safety, logistical, and environmental challenges. The flying reactor nature of the system raises genuine concerns, both for weapon reliability and for radiological consequences if something goes wrong. Indeed, the graphic label Flying Chernobyl has been applied by some arms control analysts. Equally, operational deployment is not simply a matter of hitting a launch button. The infrastructure to support nuclear-powered cruise missiles, specialized launch pads or containers, logistic chains, reactor maintenance, flight testing safety corridors, command and control protocols, nuclear warhead integration, and weapon alert status must all be developed. Russia's own statement recognizes this. Much work remains to be done to put these weapons on combat alert. All the regulations must be followed. For audiences outside Russia, the test announcement has several implications. It signals that Russia intends to modernize and expand its strategic nuclear capability at a time when the war in Ukraine remains unresolved and the US and NATO continue to provide Ukraine with advanced weaponry. It potentially complicates future arms control efforts. A nuclear-powered cruise missile falls into a grey zone between cruise missile regimes and strategic nuclear weapons, challenging existing treaty frameworks. It may affect deterrence perceptions. By publicly emphasizing unlimited reach and defenses evading capability, Russia seeks to bolster the credibility of its nuclear deterrent and discourage escalation by adversaries. However, the technical reliability and true operational status of the system remain in doubt. Many monitoring and intelligence agencies will seek independent proof of performance, deployment, and strategic value. In short, this is both a weapons development event and a strategic communication by Russia. The key message, Russia's nuclear shield remains modern, formidable, and ready to be strengthened further. Yet behind the messaging lies a complex array of technical, logistical, regulatory, and diplomatic challenges. The original transcript excerpt begins with the address to the Supreme Commander-in-Chief, and the Chief of the General Staff proceeds to the missile test details, the capabilities claimed, and ends with an invitation for further comment. In rewriting the text, the voice of the speaker is maintained, the key quotes are preserved verbatim and in bold, and the journalist's craft has been applied. Context, explanation, implications, balanced mention of skepticism and historical risk. The result is a story that reports what was said, explains what it means, and frames it within wider strategic and technical realities.